Remember those numbers?
Shut up. Back at it again. Like we never left. Coke and Dank. Dank and Coke. It's the Lethal Weapons.
Hey, Dank!
Hey, Coke!
What is Spider-Man's favorite month?
I'm trying to think of an answer.
Webuary.
That's pretty good. Not laughing good, but that's pretty good.
I was like, that's not bad.
You can do that with everything.
Yeah.
January. March.
I didn't say
April.
I just say,
Way.
from The Office.
Wood. I guess you can't do it.
No, you can't. No, Webuary. You know,
November.
are you going all the way?
I skipped like 6 months.
Yeah. December. I was like the
That
one.
was good.
I was like the one where they go. You know, from The Office. They go, when are you coming? I go, February.
That's what you wanted to stop
No, I
this
know.
for? Just tell me a terrible office joke?
I thought it was gonna be good.
I know you would. That's what she said.
Ever tired off that one? No.
Shut up. So I think we're talking about
Talk about Spider-Man.
Are we?
No, we're not.
We're not even
We're
talking
not
about
talking about Spider-Man.
We're
Joke's
talking
on you, listener.
Well,
person.
clearly they read the title of the episode, so the joke's back on us because they know what they're signing up for.
Maybe they just were like, "Oh, Comic Patrol, sweet."
Yeah, but like even you can't get to a point where you don't read something in order to push play.
Is it possible to go to a podcast and just kind of like shuffle episode and like just pick a random? I'm sure it is, right? Pick a random episode.
You have to have them downloaded. Like you have to have the whole fucking thing.
You have to have the you have to have the catalog open,
and they would be named. They would all be named.
No, but there's like a shuffle button, like a spot, like I'm gonna pick a random episode.
They would just pick a random episode.
Fuck! Shut the fuck up! You really shut me up, didn't you?
Well, you can go back to February, which is funnier now.
What's funny is sorry.
we never start episodes on time.
No, but did you ever see the meme where the Uncle Ben's rice? Like, how good is that?
Where he's crying?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Tobey Maguire crying?
No, the guy dressed up in a Spider-Man costume, and it's like there's Uncle Ben's rice in the grocery store, and he's like goes to the grocery. He's like, no.
I thought you were talking about every time they cut to the picture of Tobey Maguire crying for Uncle Ben.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Like it's like an Uncle Ben. There's always like a joke about like, oh, something, you lost an uncle. It's like him crying.
Oh,
I always laugh at that.
Sucks.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
Not
another
here.
Another time.
He does not suck. There are suckier suckers than Tobey Maguire. Yeah, I bet.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, we'll get there. We will get there. I can't wait for them to release a Lego Spider-Man movie and shut you up. We're talking Rogue Galleries, which, if you've heard our other Rogue Gallery,
yeah, we did.
Really helps define who a superhero is, because a superhero is only as good as their greatest villains, and great superheroes are greater because of the amount of foes that they have to deal with.
Yeah, if you want to listen to our Batman one, it was episode 7, so way back.
Sure, and if you want to listen to it again, go back and listen to it again. We'll take a hit. We'll take a bump in our ratings.
Why not?
This one promises to be better. I don't know why I said that.
Don't do that.
Let me raise the bar.
I'm gonna cut that in.
Well, we're getting paid by Marvel, so clearly DC fans are like, you didn't do the same thing with Batman.
Which is funny, yet we have the 3 DC episodes in a row,
back to back.
Suck it. So he's got a lot of villains.
Yes.
He's got a lot of rogues.
Which makes him a better hero. Again, you judge heroes on who they have to keep dummying, and Spider-Man has done his share of dummying.
Yeah, he's got a ton.
We had so many fucking villains to like make this short list.
This was tough to make, yeah.
That we had an argument. I don't know if you're going to listen to this before or after, but there was even a prelude to us arguing about who made it onto the list. Yeah. I would do that before, because a fun teaser to kind of, because people don't know who we're talking about.
You mean before this episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Now they hear who we actually slotted in.
Yeah, okay.
To this moment, like we're ready to give you the list. We're still arguing about where we've slotted.
So they've already
everyone on
heard.
the
They've
list.
already heard it then.
Yeah.
We're talking about they should hear this, but they've already heard it.
Listen, we record and then we post. So maybe you hear it after, maybe you hear it before, but the list is here.
Yeah.
We've come to a conclusion of who we feel with 5 tiers
5.
of who Spider-Man has had to battle and had several battles with. There's a thing about Spider-Man, like Batman, he keeps running into the same people again.
Yeah.
And if they were just fucking cold-blooded murderers, this wouldn't be the case.
No.
Just kill them.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm not an advocate for killing villains, but
There's some guys that probably,
need to die.
Yeah.
And we have a few on this list.
Yeah, take them out.
Level D. Let's go. We're going for.
Do you want to get to honorable mentions first?
Oh yeah, look, these are people that didn't make the list.
We have a few honorable.
But we
Why
had
can't I say that fucking word?
honorable.
Jesus Christ.
Honorable.
Honorable.
They are not honorable, but we feel like we have to mention them
Yes.
honorably.
Yes.
Oh, I almost fucking flubbed
That's
that
good.
one. So you want to go through? You have the list.
Yeah, I do. Michael Morbius.
Terrible.
He's actually more of a hero now, an anti-hero now.
And I feel
Got
like
his own books and
he's
stuff.
more of a Blade kind of run-in. I know there's not more crossover there, but he fits in that universe way more than he does Spider-Man's universe.
I'm not a big fan of his.
And he's got the weird hands where his hands suck on you. Yeah. I need
plasma.
plasma. They can't say blood.
Yeah, they could say blood.
You go, is it plasma?
Yeah, they could say
Fuck
blood.
you. Eat a fetus. What's that? What's the South Park where he sucks fetuses? That's Morbius.
Morbius. I put Jackal here. Jackal he's actually a very prominent villain for Spider-Man, but I also hate him because
he's terrible.
Well, he's smart, and he's kind of like a puppet master, but he's the reason why the whole clone saga happened.
Yeah, and that's a terrible.
And that got way out of hand.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Jackal. Vermin's here too. He's just a rat dude.
Which is cool.
Who's super strong. He plays a role in a couple stories, but he's never.
All of these characters have arcs. It's just they didn't. Not everyone makes the list. Okay. Don't at me. At Coke.
Alistair Smythe,
who could
he should
be on the list.
I don't know why.
He's definitely an assist for a lot of.
Yep. He created
villains that made it.
The Spider Slayers, right?
Yes.
So, and they're not even on. We didn't put the Spider Slayers on here. Sorry, guys, if you're a Spider Slayer fan.
Listen, if you can't stand up, you don't have a right to to say that you're a proper villain.
Black Cat.
Pussy's gonna get you killed.
Pussy's gonna get you killed.
She's an anti too.
She's anti. Yeah, she's Batman. She's Spider-Man what Catwoman is to Batman.
No,
essentially.
I will argue that.
Will you?
Yes.
How dare you? They both have cats in their name.
Is that the only comparison that you're giving it to?
And
she's not as smart as. She's a like.
No, she's not as smart as Catwoman. No.
No, she's not as talented as Catwoman.
But they have that allure. They have that allure to the hero.
Fucking Spider-Man's got 60 girls that have an allure.
He does, but he's such a Boy Scout that he. But no, she's got the allure. Like
Spider-Man gets it in. we're way too early in this list to talk about where he gets it in, but he gets it in.
Tombstone is also here. Out of the crime lords,
he's basically Hammerhead.
Obvious one. He's
Hammerhead.
Well, he's not.
Who came first? Hammerhead or
he's
Tombstone?
He's Hobie. No, that's Prowler. Never mind.
Prowler's on this list too.
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
Yeah, he should.
He's a newer one. I like him.
But he's not a villain. He's a hero.
Now.
He's always been
anti.
He's
been a thorn.
Like
he's been a thorn.
The lightest.
He's worked with Kingpin more than Spider-Man's worked with Kingpin.
He's working for Iceberg, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Sure, he's there.
Honorable. See, and this is just the honorable mentions. We can't even agree on this.
And I got this guy in. Now, Dank didn't want to put this guy in.
No,
and I understand.
No.
Why.
You save him for last because he's
last.
He's Hall of Fame.
He's last.
Don't even say him here. We're gonna say him up here.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
He's Hall of Fame of terrible.
And that's it. Oh.
Well, you didn't say this dude.
Fuck Boomerang. No.
Level D.
Okay, level
D. So this one, again, we had so many arguments about which one of these guys would put in, and we're kind of giving a push and a kind of a.
The B to D, I guess A to D levels are the hardest. No, B to D levels are the hardest to kind of slot in because there's a lot of characters there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons why they should be higher or lower. These guys, we couldn't make a decision, so we tied them to put them in the D level. We're talking Electro and Shocker.
Yeah, so there's a slash there.
It is. They're two different people, but Spider-Man's villains...
Yeah, you were vouching for Shocker more. I was vouching for Electro more.
We'll get there. We're just going to talk about how Spider-Man... Right. You'll notice on this list, Spider-Man's villains typically fall into two categories.
Yeah.
either they're elemental, which would be Shocker Electro, or they fall into an animal themed.
Yeah.
And until we like read that and said that, we didn't
You
realize
think about it, it's like,
And,
wow.
yeah, like whoever was writing all these was like either really obsessed with Captain Planet
or worked at a zoo.
Yeah. Yeah. So you love Shocker.
I
You love Electro. You champion for Electro. I champion for Shocker.
I have a soft spot for Electro for a couple reasons. One, the first comic book I ever bought with my own money was Amazing Spider-Man 423.
Is that the one where he's on the cover and it's his face with the Electro mask?
No, the cover was him dodging. I'll pull it up. It's Electro's like it's a cool looking Electro. He doesn't have the stupid mask on.
Okay.
He just has a goatee.
I've met him with the.
He looks like Val Venus.
Stupid mask.
He looks like Val Venus, and he's shocking the ground, and there's like bolts everywhere, and Spider-Man's like dodging it. That's the cover, and I was like, this is. I used to go. We went to this old convenience store. Right. And I was like, this looks so cool, and I had my own money. I don't remember how much it was, but I was like, I bought. So I had a soft spot for him because of that.
Right.
But I also think that he has a wicked power set.
He does.
He's an electrical elemental, essentially.
Real name?
Max Dillon. But he sucks. Like, at the same time, he's an idiot. I'm like, this guy should be way higher. Just based on his power set, he should be way higher in the list, but he's an idiot.
You're speaking my language. We'll talk about Electro. Real name, Herman Schultz.
You're talking about Shocker.
Shocker. Real name, Herman Schultz. That's how fucking back and forth we were with these two guys. He's a fucking engineer. He built his gauntlets. He has the shocking... Like, he built everything that... Like, he has the brain set to battle Spider-Man. And always should be fucking dummying him. But doesn't. He should be higher on this list. And he's not.
He should, but the difference between the two of them is that Shocker, all he has are these gauntlets that shoot beams. Like, right. Electro's actually got the elemental power around him. Like, you shouldn't be able to punch this guy. Right. You shouldn't be able to, really.
But Shocker gets more play. Like, Shocker is in more
he's in more things. And he's also in the great... I would say underrated, but it's not underrated. Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
Okay.
Where a bunch of them get together, like really shitty ones, like Beetle, Boomerang, Shocker's part of it. And it's actually hilarious.
He's also in the Sinister Six.
Yes. So, Electro is as well.
Yep. Well, depending on... We can say this for... We can say this for literally every character has been in the Sinister... Or the 12... Or the Sinister 12 or Sinister 64.
Yeah.
We get there. But, these guys get a tie. They should be better. They should be higher. Not bad. He kind of looks like an Iron Fist there.
Yeah, a little bit, actually. It looked different in my head.
And he's got the Aussie...
I just pulled up the cover of Amazing Spider-Man 423.
He's got the Aussie colors going on.
Yeah, but you see how cool it looks? Like...
Have you seen the comic book covers?
No, but as a kid, I was like, oh, how do I not get this, right? So.
And you know what happens at the end of this comic? He gets dummied.
Yeah, with the fire hydrant.
Easily.
Like it's even right there.
Easily. They already give away the ending on the cover.
Yeah. Well, first it actually makes his power stronger, but yeah, anyways, yeah.
So we'll move on from Max Dillon and
move on from those two.
We'll go up. Keep moving up to Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin level D. There's been so many iterations of fucking Hobgoblin.
Well, he's a ripoff of another better character
without the superhuman strength. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just rich.
Yeah. The cool thing about him was I know there's been a lot of iterations, but the original Ben Kingsley or Roderick Kingsley. Ben Kingsley.
Who's made of money.
Yeah.
So like this is a dude that's just like he's basically the Thomas Crown. He's like, I just do it for the fun. He doesn't need to fucking rob banks and like cause mayhem. He's just like, I like the adrenaline and the shock factor for it.
The one really cool thing about him is that the guy who created him, Roger Stern, with John Romita Jr., but Roger Stern created him, and he kept his identity a secret from everybody. He didn't tell the writers. He didn't tell the publishers. I thought that was really
great,
fucking cool. So
it was compelling.
So nobody knew who he was except for Stern for the longest time.
And then I don't know if that really paid off though to anything. In the
well,
comics.
nobody saw it coming because Roderick Kingsley was a player in the comics, but he wasn't like a
to an extent. He wasn't anybody. It wasn't like Aunt May was Hobgoblin.
Yeah, no, but it's the same in.
Imagine if Aunt May was Hobgoblin.
But it's the same in the '90s animated series, like our show.
Right.
Like I didn't know who the Hobgoblin was for the longest time.
Yeah,
and then it turns out to be shit, right? For like seasons, That's the one thing. But yeah, stolen tech from Green Goblin. So. Yep.
And then there's been a number of so many people that took on the mantle of.
It's almost like
Hobgoblin.
It's like when so many people take over the same mantle, it's kind of I don't know. To me, it loses its. It
does, and he didn't do it better. Like he had a glider and he had the pumpkin bombs, but we saw someone do it better. Yeah. We saw at least 2 people do it better.
There's tons of goblins too.
Fair enough, right? So that's why he's in D list. Again, the last guy that's gonna make D list again was hard because
This is tough. Yeah.
he's a storied villain for Spider-Man, but his
There's been a lot of iterations for him too.
yes, and maybe his best is something that we're not even mentioning on this, so we're not going to. But
I probably will.
Don't
Okay.
save it.
Damn it.
Because we'll give an opportunity to give credit to where it's the best. And if you're a fan of comic book movies, you already know the best when we say it.
Okay, fair enough. There you go. That's
So we're talking Vulture, Adrian Toomes, a formidable foe, but not really. Like he's just an old guy who got greedy.
Yeah,
He just wanted to stay young.
He became better in like later years when he had the youth, the drainage thing, right? Because then he was actually
he was sucking it. Before it was like a tablet, and he had to do like
sucking it.
Yeah. Him and Morpheus should have a suck club,
a suck fest.
Just sucking each other back and forth, just suck all night sucking. I'm trying to break Coke this episode.
It's not hard.
Well, if it was,
okay.
then you could suck all night.
When he was able to steal people's youth and actually be a physical force to
Right.
Spider-Man as well as like a actually smart. Like,
And that's the thing. He's
because before that,
he was brilliant and old, and then he figured out I can be young. But the tech, he
Yes.
had fucking amazing tech
Yeah.
that would keep up with Spider-Man and do the job that his body, young or old, couldn't do.
Yep.
So like, you love like I've seen amazing panels with them going back and forth in the air, right?
And there's good stories with him.
But he doesn't do much past that.
No, he doesn't.
That's kind of
And his best iteration, like you said, we're not going to talk about. But
No. Well,
but you know what it is.
Keep listening.
Yeah.
We'll have an episode. We just don't know when. Moving on.
So that's the D level.
D's done.
D's done.
Level C, where it gets a little better. These guys have
better.
more stories. They don't really win, but
There's no surprises here, I don't think.
Well, let's go with the best non-surprise, which is the Lizard, aka Dr. Kurt Connors.
Yeah,
all right, I got some more AKAs. He's also known as Dr. Connors,
That's what I was going to say.
the Lizard, and apparently at some point he was Iguana as well. So good for him.
I didn't actually know that.
See?
I learned something today. I wanted him higher on the list originally.
You did.
I had him at B level, right? I think.
Probably.
And that's because of the Kurt Connors connection.
Correct. So what would make sense is to have Kurt Connor higher, but we're not talking about Kurt Connors because Kurt Connors is
he's not a villain. Yeah.
The Lizard is kind of lower because when he transforms into the Lizard, he turns feral. He turns kind of animalistic.
Yeah.
And he's really about kind of
And
destroying Spider-Man
and when Peter,
in a lab coat, which
Peter,
I love his
his
design.
lab coat, it's cool.
The design was so amazing, right?
You're right. He's always got a lab coat on.
He was kind of like a B level or even a C level Incredible Hulk in terms of I'm gonna turn big,
Purple
green,
pants?
mean, purple pants, rip. But they're like, we're gonna make you. We'll keep you a doctor.
So you look like a wise lizard.
You look like you were doing something smart before this happened,
like a reptile that knows his shit.
And I think that helped humanize him whenever he fought Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man could always see, there was always a visual representation of like, there's something important about this guy. I can't really take him out the way I want to, but I got to take him down.
And he's got some interesting stories too. Amazing Spider-Man 365. There's one where the animated series, the 90s one.
Right.
We're going to reference that a lot. Just
because we love it.
Because we love it. We grew up with it. They took an idea from that too, where he actually goes to attack his family, to get a blood sample. In the comic book, he gets a blood sample from his son to try and test out. Lizard found this lab in the sewers, and what he wants to do is he wants to, experiment on himself, so he can switch over the two species or the two minds within his body to make himself more dominant than the lizard persona.
Right, and that's a great kind of duality with Dr. Connors.
Because he kind of goes in and out.
He's always battling with this dark side of himself, and he at a certain point he becomes an anti-hero. Like he's battling this animal side to make sure that the scientific man wins.
Yeah, so unlike Hulk, when Hulk becomes Hulk, he's just Hulk.
Right.
Or when Banner becomes Hulk, he's Hulk. When Connor becomes Lizard, Connors becomes Lizard. Even when he's in Lizard's body, it kind of goes back and forth.
Right.
And he's like, no, it's I gotta stop this. So this whole situation was kind of a cool story because he was trying to switch the dominance minds, and Spider-Man was like, no, if you use this tech, it's gonna kill you.
Right.
So they're getting to a fight, like, so it's almost like a roundabout, like I'm trying to save you, but we're fighting about it.
Right.
You know.
And it was great. Like,
yeah, it was a cool story.
Super compelling. The fact that Spider-Man has a personal relationship with Connors,
and that's why I want
Connors
him higher.
has a family, and he's a celebrated professor and scientist,
and a super nice guy,
and just missing an arm. He's I can fucking heal myself.
It all started because he wanted that arm back.
He couldn't be happy without an arm.
No.
Go to War Amps, get the fucking fake arm.
Yeah, the prosthetic.
You've been fine. Yeah, just do the technology. It's amazing. You can do the whole grip.
Now you can.
Now you can.
Back then.
Well, lab coat.
But that's how he got his powers, right? We can say that.
Yeah. You know.
All right.
If you're here, you know.
What's next on C?
We're going to Rhino, which I believe should be higher.
I like him here.
He's so fucking dope.
Dumb.
Both are correct. He is dope and dumb. But real name?
He's cool. He's like a kid. Go ahead. Real name.
Well, forgive me when I butcher this because it's supposed to be Russian. Alexei Milachalovich Slevedovich. We're just gonna say that's right.
Good. That's fine.
I'll give you some of the AKAs. Well, we'll give you some of the AKAs. Which one of them is Alexei? One of them is Alex O'Him, Maka Rhino, and his real name.
Yeah.
So not a lot.
No, because he's a big guy in a rhino costume that's stuck to him.
Listen, because it's simple doesn't mean it doesn't work.
No, it works.
It does
work. It works fine.
It works fine. That's why I felt he should be higher.
And I like him as like a backup villain.
Right.
I don't like him as a main villain.
Well, that's the thing about Rhino. Initially, he was just supposed to be a dumb brute.
Yep.
And they backstoried him, and they kept building him, and they kept building him. So the more stories you get to current day Rhino stories are way better than what you initially got in the beginning.
His original appearance, wasn't it when he stole the symbiote suit from the shuttle?
I believe
that was I think so. Yeah. I know that was in the cartoon, but I think it was in the comics as well.
Right.
And that's where he...
Well, if we're referencing the cartoon, he was always used as a goon and a thug.
He was never by himself.
No.
Except for that one arc then.
Or he had someone in his head like, do this for me. And he's like, sure, I'll do this. He wasn't even Russian in the cartoon.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, that's...
The comic arcs, they started giving him more and more and more and more. And then even
because it's a cool design. It's a very cool design. It's just a big dude in a rhino.
And even in Ultimates, they're like, yo, fuck this costume shit. We're going to give him a mecha rhino suit. And that shit fucking exponentially changed his whole dynamic, right?
Yeah.
So I like this guy because he completely counteracts what Spider-Man is, which is agility, swift.
Oh, he's just brute strength. Yeah.
He's fucking force, right? Yeah. Like he's a Hulk. And he's as strong and durable as Hulk. So I'm a Hulk fan.
What's cool about him too is that no other rogue on this list that we mentioned, I'm looking at now, has the same kind of power set as him.
Right.
Like, with Batman, for example, they got Bane, Killer Croc, Clayface. They're all kind of big guys. But he's the only big, strong guy, unless you count Tombstone.
And he's one of the most reoccurring villains that Spider-Man has to take on. And he's always fucking doing damage.
And you can't completely ignore him. You can't just be like, fuck Rhino.
He's a fucking Rhino.
No,
they literally, going back to the animal or element, he's a charging Rhino.
Yeah, he hits you once.
He's got the horns, and then you're going to get... So, again, I thought he was higher. You did not. He's here. We get it.
I like him there. I like him on C.
We get it.
Next for C.
Mysterio. Real name, Quentin Beck. A.K.A. Daniel Burkhart. A.K.A. Dr. Ludwig Reinhardt. A.K.A. Mysterium. A.K.A. Nicholas Maccabi Gerds. A.K.A. Fishbowl. Which I think Spider-Man calls him more than anyone. Fishbowl works. I think he should be higher.
I like him here.
Here's my argument.
I like him. Go ahead.
He has always given Spider-Man more of a psychological
for sure.
confrontation when every other villain has given him a physical.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has had to learn to fucking trust his instincts or not and deal with this villain, because this is a villain that's in other mediums, because we won't go into too much detail, but has fucked over other people with making them see shit that they weren't seeing. And that's such a fucking underrated talent for a villain to have. So when Spider-Man is such a headstrong intellectual, the fact that someone is fucking with your reality that you can't tell up from down, definitely higher.
That's crazy. Yeah,
definitely higher than C.
You really gotta basically close your eyes, just trust your spider sense, because
if that's working,
because you don't know where he's coming from.
I can't even reference Peter Tingle,
This particular.
Because that's now I'm referencing, right?
No, but like in any iteration, right? That's how he has to beat him. You can't beat this guy head on. You have to outwit him. Not even outsmart him, outwit him, because he's gonna throw like the fucking weirdest shit at you. You know.
He's a sadist.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
He will torture you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And
he gets off on it.
He's made a career
because he could just like throw smoke and mirrors.
I'm pretty sure
cut you.
in one comic book arc he used 2 versions of himself to torture 2 different Spider-Mans in 2 different universes. And that's fishbowl for you.
Oh, fishy.
Moving on.
Yes.
Level B.
Level B, guys.
We're going to Mr. Sandman, who I believe should be higher.
I believe he.
Okay, so we'll give real names. First,
real
name, William Baker, a.k.a. Flint Marco, a.k.a. Mr. Sandman, a.k.a. Sylvester Man, a.k.a. Quarryman, a.k.a. Sandmanatee, a.k.a. Sandstorm.
Sandstorm's a cool name.
It is. He's got some. I would be
crazy thing.
Manatee.
Sand Manatee. So yeah, there's actually a really funny. I know we're telling stories on him, but Amazing Spider-Man 217.
Right.
There's him and Hydro Man, who we haven't talked about, but him and Hydro Man actually merge
and become
Mud Thing.
Clayface?
No, Mud. Yeah, Mud Thing. It's just it doesn't even talk.
Did they have sex?
No, they just merge together.
But they're like sitting on top of each other.
I guess it's like Avatar, like where they have sex like that.
Oh, they're each other.
Maybe, but they become this dumb fucking thing that looks kind of like that Howard the Duck character. What's his name? Bonghead. Bong. You know what I'm talking about? Look at him. Yeah, I'm gonna pull a picture of him right now so you can see.
That's Clayface. Oh my gosh, I want that.
I don't know what that
I
is.
want all of that. What?
Does he move? Presenting Sadie Frickin'. He's
getting honored and worshipped by.
That's a cool
girls.
Villain right there.
Is it?
No.
You know who that is?
Yeah, it's Clayface.
That's Clayface. Okay, so we'll give a little depth in level B. These are the powers that Mr. William Baker controls: density control, duplication, animation. He's invulnerable. He can fly. He has strong stamina, super strength. He's great with unarmed combat.
Elemental.
Again, escape artist, adaptive, marksmanship, size manipulation, sand manipulation, shape-shifting.
His powers are badass.
Matter absorbing, chemical absorption. And he's only level B.
But this is what I'm talking about when I talk about Electro.
Sure.
Because they have, like Sandman, he's got the elemental shit about him.
Is electricity an element?
Well, it's an element. Yeah, of course it is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not one of the main 4 elements,
well, again,
right? But
sand is.
But
sand's a main 4.
Right, but he can. Okay, fair enough.
Earth, wind,
water,
fire.
Yeah, I know.
Water.
But I'm just saying
Earth.
He controls. Yeah, it's like Iceman, right? Like he's.
So you're going backwards.
Super. No, I'm just saying.
We're in Sandman land now.
I'm using him as an example of why I think Electro should be just a pinch higher. That's all. Anyway, Sandman, yeah.
I think he should be higher. Anyway, and he's been a troubled type of villain.
He is, yeah. He's not your straight bad guy.
No, he's a victim of circumstance. He fell into the situation where he became Sandman and has been trying to get back his daughter and do the best for his daughter. It just happens he's been doing it the most illegalist way.
Yeah, which I sympathize with. I like villains with a bit of tragedy to them.
And again, he hasn't always been a villain. He's been a hero. He's been Avengers for a moment of time, which I fucking rate. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But, in every iteration that he's always battled with Spider-Man, it's always been amazing panels. Because the fact, he's a Green Lantern.
Right, yeah.
Because he's just imagining what he wants with,
oh, he's cool.
I've seen the mace and the hammer and the axe, amazing. And apparently he's been having sex with Hydro Man when my back was closed.
To make Mud Thing.
Here's your boy who
This is my boy.
I believe could also be higher.
I think he should. Yeah, we both believe he should be higher.
We wanted to put everyone in the Hall of Fame. We can't do it, but here we are in level B.
He should be A. Can we move him to A?
Can I say his name?
Okay, go ahead.
Craven the Hunter.
Craven the Hunter.
Real name Sergei Gravenov.
Fucking awesome.
AKA Spider-Man. AKA the Spider. AKA the Huntsman. So he's got some cool AKAs.
Yeah, the Spider's cool, man. Fuck. If you guys listening to me, I always
tell them the art that you read.
If you haven't read Craven's Last Hunt, if you have not read Craven's Last, you need to read this shit. It's old, it's dated,
and that's Spider-Man in black suit too.
Yeah, it's Black Suicide Red.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
like top level Spider-Man that he's dealing with.
Yeah, even though this was a costume, it wasn't the symbiote. It was when he was
Still.
Yeah, it's still, but whatever.
Still.
Black Suicide Red, he actually gets beat by Kraven. Kraven beats him. He sets out to beat him, and he does, and he buries him alive.
Mm-hmm.
Then...
Yeah, he killed him, didn't he?
Yeah. Essentially, yeah. He tranked him, but...
Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a cool fucking... Should I spoil this arc? I guess it's old as hell. He actually... Vermin's in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Vermin was... Spider-Man wasn't able to beat Vermin.
Mm-hmm.
He had to enlist Captain America's help to beat down Vermin. Okay, that's important to know.
Yes.
Kraven goes out to hunt Spider-Man, attacks him at night, beats the shit out of him, tranks him, like shoots him point blank with a trank, and then buries him alive. And he's like, I won.
Yeah.
This is my thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on Spider-Man's costume and become a better Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's so psychotic and so dangerous that you have to take him seriously.
Yeah.
Because his skill set is so fucking high.
He's Wolverine without the adamantium claws.
Yeah, without I think he has some healing.
He's got some healing claws.
Yeah.
But he smells like he can hunt you down.
We can go
he's bigger than Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wolverine's small.
Yeah.
Kraven's big.
That would be a fun
That would be
crossover
a
arc.
fucking good one. Yeah.
So we'll go into his power side. He's feral, so he has that animalistic intensity and kind of sense to him.
Before you go on, just back to the comic. So he dresses up, because I mentioned Vermin.
Mm-hmm.
He dresses up like Spider-Man. He beats up thugs like hardcore, but then he comes across Vermin, beats the shit out of Vermin.
Who's a rat?
But that was his whole thing. Is like, now I became Spider-Man and I beat Vermin, who he couldn't beat.
Right.
I'm done.
So I've done everything I needed.
I'm done. So when Spider-Man comes back, he's like, I'm not even gonna fight you because I'm better than you.
Well,
like, it's so gangster.
Like
he's just like, fuck it.
And that's the level of his psychotic nature. Like, that's not even psychotic. Like, he was so obsessed with a goal, he met it, and then he's like, I've reached it.
Yeah.
Like, he was always about, like, Spider-Man's gonna be my greatest trophy. I'm gonna put his head on the wall.
And he beat him, became him, beat a guy he couldn't beat. And then he's like, when Spider-Man came, he's like, I'm not going to fight you.
We could just do a Rose Gallery list of villains that have been a better Spider-Man. And bested and took on the mantle of Spider-Man.
Because there's more than one.
Because there is. Going back to his power set.
Go ahead, yeah. Sorry.
He's agile. He has immortal sense to him. I think I don't know how deep it goes, but great stamina, great stealth, great tracking. Super sight, super smell, super speed, super strength, super healing.
This guy's fucking...
Longevity.
He's a feral Captain America.
Great with gadgets, weapon master, unarmed combat, and he's a marksman. So, I mean...
He's sick.
Good.
He's sick, man.
He's
and
good.
I'm officially moving up to A level. I don't give a shit.
Well, it's not officially, because we're still in B level, and the next dude in... Like, all of B's are fucking strong. Like, B's level could
B level's very good, yeah.
B level could be any other characters, A-listers. If you had to do a Sandman, Kraven the Hunter, and our next dude, that'd be a fucking rough.
Who's relatively new compared to these other guys.
But the ripples that he's already done to Spider-Man is so fucked.
So go on, who's our next guy?
It is Morlun.
Morlun the vampire.
Real name, Morlun. AKA the Devourer of Totems.
Yeah.
And when you find out what totems are...
you read, I guess you did some research.
I read a little bit of this. Just a little bit.
The edge of the... Before Spider-Verse was a movie.
It was a thing.
The book,
it was a comic.
Was about Morlun and his family
hunting
down and draining different versions of Spider-Man to death. So all the different versions of Spider-Man.
In different universes.
Yeah.
Like, so goddamn!
Yeah, they're multiverse. They're multiverse hunting.
Goddamn! And successfully, because they're fucking over Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Everywhere they go.
Created by... This is cool, because he was created a little later, during... in 2001, actually.
Right.
During J. Michael Straczynski's.
I was so hoping you wouldn't say Fox.
Yeah, no. J. Michael...
Take me away!
Well, Straczynski, when he took over the Amazing Spider-Man run, what his job was, or what he did anyways, he kind of matured Spider-Man a bit, so he took him from the whole school years to working man years, where he got the relationship with Mary Jane, and so within that, they wanted him to bring in some new blood, as in villains, so he created Morlun.
Which is amazing.
Which is cool, yeah.
Well, just the thought process of what I was gonna do with this character, because vampires already has been done in the
It's a
Spider-Man
different
universe.
kind of vampire, right?
But to turn it on its edge, like the best comparison I think would be if you've seen the Blade movies. It's from Blade 1, which was a normal vampire, to Blade 2, which was fucking where their detachable jaws come and they turn into fucking like a different beast of vampire, right? And this one was not only a different beast, but like a time bending beast who was successful.
Yeah.
And because comics are amazing, they were literally going to how many different universes and just plucking Spider-Mans and draining the fuck out of them.
And he's dressed like he's part of the Hellfire Club, right? So that right there, it's like...
Oh yeah, he's got Michael Morbius's jacket. Which is clearly you have to have this black trench coat.
Yeah, but he makes Morbius look like a bitch.
Yeah, he does.
Right, so him and his family, they hunt down Spidey totems.
I would love to see him go up against Vandal Savage if we can get amazing crossover.
That's a good crossover. Come on, all these.
Yeah, that's what this is turning into eventually. Clearly, we've been reading a lot of comics recently, but he looks amazing. He is amazing. He's brand new, and he's only made our level B.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little background to some of the power sets that he has. So he radar sense, tracking. He's invulnerable. He has amazing stamina, healing, agility, stealth, super strength, super speed, adaptive, longevity. He's great with unarmed combat. Yep. He has Siphon abilities and Siphon Life Force, which is him sucking the plasma. Yep. That's the suck on suck. He doesn't even just plasma. He takes like your life force. Like he just. Oh yeah, I said Siphon Life Force. So that's what.
Okay. Sorry, you said plasma. Sorry, that's.
I know. I'm just. You put more onto it.
Do your thing.
And of course he's immortal, right? Because you couldn't kill this dude that's fucking running through
multiverse, man.
Multiverse, multi-ball.
Just like, sucking on Spider-Man.
Just suck it away, suck it left or right. Good lord, bunch of sucks that never sucked. Suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked. And that concludes the lower tier of Spider-Man villains. And
level B is done.
And
that's a mid tier. Those guys aren't. None of those three guys are fucking low.
And any other superhero, like if fucking Captain America had to go up against Sandman, Moreland, and
Kraven,
he'd have a fucking rough.
Kraven
go.
right there is like his. Why haven't they fought?
I don't know.
That'd be a.
Where is Kraven right now?
I think he's
dead.
He did die. He did die, but he came back. Yeah,
he's dead.
You know how it is. He actually does. At the end of Kraven's Last Stand,
right?
When he was satisfied with everything, he kills himself.
Which is stupid.
But but
there's nowhere else for him to go.
He's reached his peak, right? He's a hunter.
Stupid.
That's it for me.
See, like Sandman can't die. Like he's prone to live this life.
Or he comes back, right? But
I know, but like he's always with another duality. Is like I'm stuck as this. I'll never get to be the full father that I want for the daughter, right? So you have the heartfelt thing, but then he's like, well, fuck, I'm Sandman, so I can do that shit.
And I like.
And then Moreland's like, yo, I can run dimensions and I'm never gonna die.
One's a prick, yeah.
Exactly. He's not looking to die, right? So,
but I like Kraven just because he's a man on a mission, right? He's got this one goal.
Look, you did your Kraven thing.
Even though I spoiled the whole thing, read Kraven's Last Stand.
And he only made level B. Guys.
Yeah, he's A. Okay.
They're all actually A's.
But this is what pisses me off in this A right here.
Well, here we go. We're gonna start off with our first level A, who deserves the spot we've given him. The Scorpion.
I fucking hate him in it.
Real name,
I do not like
MacDonald.
Gargan.
Real name, MacDonald Gargan.
Oh, my bad.
A.K.A.
like MacDonald.
Yeah. A.K.A. Mac Gargan. A.K.A. Venom. A.K.A. Spider-Man. A.K.A. Sinister Spider-Man. A.K.A. Arachnid. A.K.A. Kilgore. A.K.A. Trout. A.K.A. Venopinia. Am I saying that? Venopinia.
Venorpian.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Scorpion.
With a K.
A.K.A. Score Plus. So, I'm just putting this off of as many AKAs. Those are as many mantles as he's lived.
Yeah, it was interesting.
living.
It was interesting when they made him the next follow-up Venom. That was kind of cool.
It was great when they made him a Spider-Man.
Yeah. I didn't read that. So, you need to fill me in on that one. Fill me in on that one.
At one point.
Okay.
Right now, let's go into his power set, because this is a dude that is worth his weight in gold. And even from his inception, like the way he got into this was he was a low-level thug too.
He's just
just filled the role that someone needed him to fill. He's got a power suit, so blast power, berserker strength, invulnerability. I can't say that word.
Invulnerability.
That's like you in
Honorable.
You can say honorable. I can't say invulnerability. Stealth, stamina, healing, agility, super strength, super eating, super speed, tracking, danger sense. He's feral. He's got claws. He's a wall climber. He's a web slinger. He's poisonous. He's got chemical secretion, size manipulation, elasticity, shape-shifting. He's a bit of a chameleon. Implants, invisibility, and unarmed combat. He's got a fucking rogues gallery of powers.
He's big as fuck, too, yeah.
And he keeps reinventing himself. He's the father of reinvention.
And yet...
No, not yet.
Do you think?
Okay? He's even taken up the mantle of a villain we haven't even talked about yet.
Right.
Venom.
Right.
And I've enjoyed his run as he was an agent.
Okay. He was okay. No, that was Flash.
Okay. He's not on this.
No.
Honorable mention for Flash? No,
he's not villain.
Antonio. Well,
he was a hero. When he got the Venom suit, it doesn't matter. We're not talking about him here. He's okay.
Listen,
he was a cool idea.
The fact that he was hired by J. Jonah Jameson, who's proved himself to be adversary to Spider-Man, in itself has already launched him higher than most people. Because his backstory is he's getting hate from someone else that already hates Spider-Man.
Yes.
That's just Scorpion.
Yeah.
Then he took on so many other fucking mantles to keep fighting Spider-Man.
Well, what I think is cool about I know I said I hate him on the A levels, right. But I think he deserves to be like he should be A level.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because he is a complete moron, is that kind of holds him back because like his power set and like the whole thing that he's also an arachnid, right?
Right.
The Scorpion versus the spider. That's fucking cool.
Amazing. Yes.
That should be
going back to the animalistic.
Yeah.
But he's the one villain that keeps learning from his mistakes because the suit didn't work for him. He failed. Then he goes to I think Smythe and he's like, build me a better suit. So he bonds himself to the suit. So he can't separate it.
Right.
Elevates himself again. Loses because obviously he's Spider-Man. And he's like, what do I do next? Fucking finds the symbiote, Venom, and then like he keeps finding levels to fight Spider-Man.
But he keeps
if I'm Spider-Man, I'm like, you're back again? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like he keeps proving his worth on why he deserves to be an A-list.
But he's just if he was a bit more of a tactician.
No,
I think that would be.
I think lost it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he let go of that. He's so obsessed with killing Spider-Man that he sacrificed any sanity or any normal life that he could possibly have.
Yep.
Off of somebody else's vendetta.
Yeah, and he took on and
made it his own.
Yeah, which is
that's so fucking deep for me. Like that's insane.
What's funny too, if you go back,
and everyone everyone on these lists rolling up is definitely a level of insanity.
Oh yeah,
they get more and more crazy.
Oh yeah,
for Kraven, Kraven's actually
not that insane.
He's just pretty sane.
He's just driven.
So now you see the same with Sandman. He's fairly about protecting his daughter. Moreland is like, oh, well, I'm just hungry.
Yep.
So like you can start to see the division between B and A.
Yeah, I was going more for
smarts.
No, like there's an emotional side of it, and then there's also like is he a good physical adversary versus an emotional, like, so is it, how personal is it?
Sure.
So Scorpion's not that personal.
Fine, but we don't get into personal again until Hall of Fame. Everyone else is just a deep-seated vendetta against this fucking web crawler. Right.
So, but I read a funny arc with Scorpion. Spider-Man 146. We're going way back there.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackal, right? Like I said, he was in it, and he basically convinces Scorpion. He kind of just lets him go. He aims him at this hospital that Aunt May's in.
Right.
And he's like, go attack this old lady, and Spider-Man will show up, type thing. So he like barges in there, like, where's Spider-Man? And then sure enough, Spider-Man shows up. Guess what? Gets dummied.
Right.
Spider-Man dummies him, right? Like, so it's like, he's never like...
Well, again, Spider-Man will dummy everyone on this list.
Right, but...
sucks, but...
But Scorpion always has to... He's always leaning on somebody else. Or somebody else is leaning on him, rather.
Yes, right? And no. One thing. His downfall is that he is too emotional. He's so blinded by rage and insanity that he can't see any opportunity to actually best the man that he can. He should have beat Spider-Man in several different arcs.
Which is why he shouldn't, in my opinion, he shouldn't be in the A level, just because. I would swap. We can go back to
D. We can go back to D and talk about how the dumb guys or smarter guys here that are like.
Yeah, but they're not physically. They're not like Shocker doesn't fucking.
No, but you can replace Mysterio into fucking A class if you're talking about they're smart.
No,
levels.
because physically he can't stand it. Like Spider-Man with one punch and he's gone, right?
Anyway, Scorpion's on A list. If you agree with
Not on
Coke,
my
you let
A-list.
Coke low, and because you already agree with
I do
Dank,
like him though. I do like him.
he's fucking amazing.
He's really cool, and he should be there. I just don't think from what we've seen, he deserves to be there right
Yeah,
now.
and
That's all.
there's still more to see. We haven't
course
seen
there is,
all
yeah.
of the,
Yeah.
the Scorpion arcs,
Yeah.
but he's on the list.
All right, who else? Who else we got A level?
We gotta go to the Kingpin,
Got it.
AKA, or sorry, real name, Wilson Grant Fisk. I never knew
I
his
didn't know his
middle
name was
name
Grant.
Grant.
That's
I
new,
did not.
yeah.
I learned that. AKA, this is weird. Read this for me.
Dirigible.
That's an AKA, as well as Harlold, Howard, Kingpin of Crime,
Yeah.
the Boss, the Brainwasher, Wilson Grant Fisk, the King of Crime, and Mayor
King of
Fisk.
Crime is sick. Sounds sick.
It
It's a nice.
Here's the
moniker.
weird thing about Kingpin to me.
He's not even a Spider-Man villain originally.
True, but for someone that has lived a full life as Wilson Fisk and kind of lived a half life or even an equal life as Kingpin,
Yep.
There's no discernible difference. He doesn't want to wear a mask. He doesn't disguise his voice,
Took people a long time to figure out.
which is fucking dumb in comic book world. Like, he's always been like,
Well, because
I'm-
nobody ever saw Kingpin except for crime lords.
but you see fucking Wilson Fisk, and
Yeah.
he's a mammoth of a man.
Yeah, he stands out.
Let's go into his power set. Berserker strength. He's got agility.
For his size, I think it's relative agility.
Sure,
Right?
he can
Yeah.
duck and move.
You don't expect a man that size.
Yeah, to two-step. Stamina, super strength, obviously. Unarmed combat, he's great at. Swordsmanship, he has. Insanely rich, which is listed as a power. It
They
is.
ran out of ideas.
Leadership and intellectual.
Yeah,
So
it is tact. Yeah, it is.
he's definitely a tactician. He's always had a master plan. He's the king of crime. What do you say about Kingpin? The man that has kind of sat at the head of the table for a lot of heroes to try and overcome.
I like him here just because the history between them is so storied and so long. I know he's a Daredevil villain first, but you could argue he's got more shit with
In
Spider-Man than
and more goons. Like he's assembled more villains to go after Spider-Man than anyone else.
Yeah, and I do like him. Do like him here just because it's very personal. Like we talked about Straczynski and stuff. His run. It ended with a new day, right? Like so one last day, whatever. And that's where Spider-Man makes a deal with the devil to bring Aunt May back to life after she gets sniped.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who hired the sniper? You know what I mean? Like, so when he takes his mask off at Civil War, the first cat that jumps on him is Kingpin.
Right.
Take it. You know, technically it's Vulture, but still, it's like, you know what?
Kingpin, he's there pulling the strings. He's the godfather of the Marvel Universe.
Just like that, Aunt May's dead. It's like, you cannot. This guy is fucking dangerous.
He's the Vito Corleone, and I like that they've always drawn him as a husky individual.
Yep.
But you peel that back, and that's always been a layer of that's always been muscle.
Under fat,
yeah, always been muscle, right? So it could have been as easy to draw him like a Juggernaut or a Colossus and just rippling muscle, but I wouldn't have given the same dynamic as this fucking fat dude.
Yeah.
And then again, we're not supposed to reference the movies, but he's so cartoonishly gigantic in
it was ridiculous.
but so amazing because he was such a presence in that too. Like his shoulders were higher than his head. Like
it was ridiculous.
He's always been a monolith.
Yeah.
A mammoth of a character, and the fact that he's in the A-list.
He is, and there's
proves
what was really cool.
Crazy the Rogue.
I love Spider-Man because he's a Joker. I love that about him.
Right.
But I love how when push comes to shove, he goes fucking super serious.
Right.
And there's a run right after Aunt gets shot, called Back in Black, and that's the Amazing Spider-Man 539 to 543.
Okay.
There's an arc there, and what he does is he actually dons back the black suit because he's like, you just killed Aunt May.
Yeah, he's in mourning.
So basically he goes on this mission to find out who did it.
Right.
And it's Kingpin, who's locked up at the time. He goes into the prison and fights Kingpin one-on-one. No like fucking around, and beats the shit out of him. Like it's a good scrap. Like because
Kingpin can go rounds.
And
that's the thing. Like
Spider-Man's pissed.
How many top bosses have you seen that typically can't fight? That's why they have so many goons and so many superhero
kill them, boys.
Yeah.
No, Kingpin's like,
he's like, I've just been waiting.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna tire you out with all these motherfuckers.
Because I will hit you hard. Yeah.
He's the body that I never know what the name was for Krang. Like
yeah.
And he's also Krang. Like he's a complete version of that. But that's why he's on our A list.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to say more Kingpin?
No, I was just gonna say there's no real tragedy there. It's just he's just hungry for
power.
Right?
Absolutely, he's absolute.
Power.
Yes,
yeah.
he wants it all.
But he's so opportunistic too. It's just
smart. Like
he sees a weakness. My thumb.
He's never. I've never read anything where I was like, "Oh, that's a stupid move." Like he's so calculating. Yeah. They always respect what he's doing now and what he's planning to do later.
That's a dope ass name.
And Kingpin. And that's why he bleeds through so many different titles because he's the king of New York. Really, like that's an AKA he should have. Right. I'd love it for a Marvel's Night movie to center around him trying to take him down.
Yeah, and I always find it interesting whenever he does get locked up or whatever, the power vacuum that he leaves behind, where all the other you can take Silvermane out, you can take Owl out, you can take Iceberg out, and there won't be a power vacuum. You take Kingpin out, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Let's take over.
You could take Alistair Smythe out. You can always find another person to build stuff.
You take Kingpin out, it's big.
You need someone with the vision. And he's always had the vision. And Spider-Man's always had the way to stop him. Until now. I'm assuming you're listening to this when Kingpin finally kills Spider-Man. 2030. Someone's got to kill him.
All right, last level A.
Level A. We're going with
you all know him. You all love him. Fan favorite.
Carnage.
Real
name? Carnage. Because a lot of people get confused. Cletus Cassidy is only the host to the actual villain.
Yeah, they bonded completely.
Carnage. Also, AKAs or other people that have taken up the mantle of Carnage is Tavis Neves, Ben Reilly, Norrin Rad, Peter Parker.
Norrin Rad, eh? That's fun. I actually read that. I saw that just recently. I was like,
John Jameson.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
John Jameson, son of J. Jonah Jameson, Spider-Man, Spider Carnage, the Spider, Prick with an exclamation point, Inmate 24739, and Gwen Stacy.
One that's not there is in the most recent run of Amazing Spider-Man. I'm sorry to jump on this.
No, jump away.
You know who does wear the Carnage symbiote?
Who?
Fucking Norman Osborn.
Really?
It becomes the Red Goblin.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's mind bending.
There's a comic run right now. I know I'm dating myself, but
Norman. We should have put Norman on this list, man.
Yeah, I should have. Oh well. There's a run called Absolute Carnage right now.
Right.
And it's all about Cletus Cassidy coming back, and he's got
taking up the mantle.
He's just spreading the symbiotes around. And they're all and then Norman Osborn is there. He gets the Carnage symbiote back.
So let's talk a little bit of powers of the Carnage, because clearly
this is a fan favorite. Everybody he's
from here on out. Everyone loves everyone that we're talking about.
Yeah, fair enough.
From Kingpin on.
Cletus Cassidy is the closest you'll get to the Joker for Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery.
And a grounded Joker, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because he's a lunatic. He's not as smart as Joker.
No,
Joker's fucking smart. He's probably as crazy as the Joker.
He's a low level thug, right? Like,
yes.
Joker has vision. Joker has even in this chaos.
Even it's class, right?
And just he understands the duality and he understands the psychology about it. Yes,
Cletus doesn't respect.
Joker's playing chess while Cletus is eating Trivial Pursuit cards.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know the answer.
He doesn't respect shit. He just chaos.
Which giving a symbiote just makes him even more dangerous. And again, power sets: claws, adaptive, feral, berserker strength. He's got a chameleon powers to him: agility, healing, stamina, vulnerability, invisibility, stealth, super speed, super strength, web slinging, wall climbing, duplication. He's got sonic powers. He's got psychic powers. He's got Carnage just has high intellect, the danger sense, the radar sense, longevity, size manipulation, siphon life force, shape shifting, chemical absorption, genetic manipulation, elasticity. He's got the power suit. He's a submariner, unarmed combat, and a weapons master. That's just day one shit. That's day one shit.
He gets a symbiote and then boom.
I can do all of this? Sure. What do you say about Carnage that hasn't already been said?
He's so fun. Whenever you read him in a book, it's like, oh, this is about to get fucking serious. Something's gonna this is gonna get crazy.
And to think that he's a ripoff of another character, and typically when you rip off a character, you're expecting them to do something better from the original, and that doesn't always happen. They completely took this in such a farther direction that ended up working better and making the ripoff even more compelling, because there have been instances where Spider-Man has to team up with people that he typically wouldn't have to try and take down Carnage.
Yeah.
So, like, what a madman.
That's the one thing I have a problem with when I talk about arc, like comic arcs and shit like that. The Carnage ones always have a third player. There's always a Venom or always there's always help, and it's like fuck. I really want to see.
He can't do it.
But he can't. I don't think he can.
He can't.
There is a
Listen, Carnage is crazy already, but Cletus Cassidy, when he fights him, he's a psychopath murderer.
You can't predict what he's gonna do. That's why that's
why Carnage loves him.
Whenever we hear the Carnage in New York, instead of any comic issues, is actually a novel, like a book that I read when I was younger, and it is Spider-Man versus Carnage, like without anybody else. Oh. It's fucking cool, and
it doesn't last long though.
It does because Carnage is fucking around with the city.
Okay.
So what happens is they don't meet each other right away.
And that's his downfall. If he was focused and like wanted to kill Spider-Man would be dead. Yeah. But the fact that they're two, like when you talk about Carnage, you have to talk about two separate entities. Like you have to talk about who the host is and their crazy mindset, and Carnage's crazy mindset, because essentially Carnage is just a happy child that can live off of whoever. Like their wildest imagination, right? Like he needs something crazy in order to be even crazier. So the fact that they just view the whole world as this playground where they can just murder and chaos and rape and pillage and destroy. The fact that like killing Spider-Man has never been a goal. He's always just been an obstacle and something that they toy with.
He doesn't really.
He could kill you at any time, but he's like, I don't care. I'm having so much fun doing this shit.
And I think that's what kind of holds him back a little bit from being Hall of Fame, is that he's not. The emotions are there, but it's not like.
But it's a different set of emotions. It's not emotions tied to Spider-Man.
Exactly.
It's emotions that like, I get to do whatever the fuck I want.
You're in my way.
Who the fuck's gonna stop me? And as a reader, you're like, who can fucking stop me?
And that's what happens in this book, the Carnage in New York book. Written by Dean Wesley Smith. It's basically it's you've heard the story before. They're transferring a prisoner from one place to another.
Right.
Guess what happens? He breaks it.
Right.
And he's loose on New York. And I remember I haven't read this book recently, but I remember reading it originally. And there's this one scene where Carnage goes into like a dinner party.
Okay.
Reminds you like the Joker in Dark Knight.
Okay.
Like, comes in, where's Batman?
Right.
He goes in there, and he murders everybody. And they detail it, it's like...
Without a second thought.
Wow. Like, he just goes in there, and he kind of fucks around them a little bit, and then just ends up... And then, so Spider-Man comes into the place later, and it's just a bloodbath.
And he's such an
artist. And I'm like, wow, you
It's-
won't see that.
It's so sick to say. He's such an artist with the way that he kills people too.
Cool.
It's not even like a quick death too.
No.
Like he'll take his time.
There are quick deaths, but there are others. Yeah, he
But
enjoys it.
even
He
the
enjoys
quick
it.
the quick deaths are like, did you just see how he just wiped out like 10 people?
Yeah.
Like he's
spears.
he's like a
darts
Hannibal
at his
Lecter.
thing. Oh.
Like they made him a brilliant psychopath.
He's the scariest villain on here. I
I'm
think.
honestly surprised there's no network TV show that's done Carnage because of all the murder porn TV shows that are going around.
Yep.
Like
That's a good point. I think people are afraid to do it just because.
you can go so far. Like maybe
I think-
like people are just afraid to open up their mind that far.
And what networks are going to allow that, right? So
Again, clearly, if you haven't,
you're not going to see him on Disney.
if you haven't figured out that we love Carnage, maybe listen to a Coke and Dang pitch a movie. We pitch a Carnage movie. And,
We do.
we get into some detail, but I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface on how fucking
Looking back, because that was
crazy.
a long time ago. That was episode 9.
yeah.
Was our Carnage movie pitch. So go back and listen to that if you want to hear.
We're literally
our thoughts on it.
salivating on the
Yeah.
thoughts of what Carnage could do now.
Because let's be honest, everybody wants a Carnage movie. I don't know if it's.
We're gonna get it.
I don't know.
uh,
No. Oh, that just brought up no.
uh,
Not the way it's delivered. Anyways,
moving on.
That's A level.
That was A-level.
We're done A level.
We're done.
We're done. No more villains.
No, that's it.
We're good.
Spider-Man has fought a
Tapping
lot
out.
of people.
We covered everybody.
I think we did a good job. But of
Oh.
course, there's always
The
the Hall of Fame. These are, again, based on what we've been arguing to this point.
You already know who's there.
Yes, but
But-
what we've arguing, clearly there needs to be an emotional connection to Spider-Man.
Yes.
There needs to be a physical and mental presence.
Threat and presence, yeah.
There needs to be a reason for Spider-Man to keep fighting these people, because he constantly keeps fighting these people. Dare I say, all of these could be argued to be his greatest rival, and we've done that off mic. We've had
even before we were podcasting.
No,
it was like,
when we were
it's this guy.
barely friends, we had kind of put our flags down on who we thought because I grew up with Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of my favorite heroes.
Absolutely. I think as a kid, he's gonna be your favorite. No matter
it's so easy to gravitate. So when you start finding about his rogue gallery, and you can ask this of yourself, you definitely have your favorites. There are specific reasons why you love villains that he fights.
But use your head. I think about it.
Sure, but each villain kind of brings out a different version of Spider-Man, because he has to use a different skill set and mindset to overcome them. These 4 are the ones that he has to always bring his A game, like his Hall of Fame game.
That's right, 4. Think about that. 4 Hall of Famers. 4. That's more than the A and B level.
4.
And C level.
4. So
who you hitting first?
Gwen Stacy.
The black Silver Sable.
Silver Sable. The man Spider.
So you can't even choose who to go first.
I do. I'm going with this dude.
All right, go ahead.
As much as he's not a typical villain, he's definitely always been a thorn in Spider-Man's side, and has
they're tethered, I think.
Yes, and he could be a mirror image to a certain extent, and for a lot of villains that we've already talked to, he helped bring them into Spider-Man's radar.
Yeah.
We're talking about J. Jonah Jameson. Real name, John Jonah Jameson, a.k.a. JJ. A.k.a. JJJ.
I knew that was...
A.k.a. Jolly Jonah Jameson, a.k.a. J. Jonah Jackal, a.k.a. Jolly Jameson, a.k.a. Jigsaw Jameson.
That's what he's a PI. He's a PI. Yeah.
A.k.a. Flat Top, which sounds like a Dick Tracy villain, a.k.a. Buzzhead, also says that, a.k.a. Pruneface, which is actually a Dick Tracy villain, a.k.a. I think that was supposed to be Pringle Puss, but I have Pinky Puss, a.k.a. Mayor Jameson. I have Power Set here. He doesn't really have a Power Set, but we'll get into why we think this. He's insanely rich, definitely intellectual, leadership, and I laughed at this. He's listed as unarmed combat.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Sure, pal.
We're talking about J. Jameson. We're talking about JJJ.
JJJ?
Because his reach for Spider-Man has always been a media level and like a social level.
And he won't fucking stop.
No. He has managed to turn the public image of a hero into a fucking villain.
And he'll twist it any story. You give him a story, he'll twist it.
He'll twist pictures. He'll twist stories. He'll twist low-level thugs who don't even care about Spider-Man into an obsession in which they have to fucking kill this man.
Yeah.
He has made it his life's work not to kind of be a successful journalist, but to discredit Spider-Man and his level of emotional, I guess not physical, that's the only kind of offset.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, but you covered it.
Fair enough. His level of emotional and just like his undying need to prove that this man is a menace is not only compelling and amazing to read, but insane. Insane.
You ever been obsessed with somebody so much?
I can count on my hand more times that Jonah Jameson has said something nice about Spider-Man or allied with him than I can times that he's been like, he's a menace. I don't care if he saved my life. He was trying to save my life to kill my life and another. He was Fox News before Fox News.
Yeah.
And his President Obama was Spider-Man. I guess that's Fox News' greatest adversary. I don't know. I think of something, right?
Yeah.
But this man is crazy. Crazy. And amazing in this world that Spider-Man has built. You can't have this universe, Spider-Man being in a lot of arcs, amateur photographer, and finding a way to make his money off of Spider-Man without a J. Jonah Jameson saying, Parker, bring me those pictures. Amazing.
But it's such a cool idea, too. I don't think, off the top of my head, I can't think of any other heroes that have someone like this.
And to an extent of, this is a side character. This is someone that they just kept
But he's been around for so fucking long.
The only real comparison is Superman, Daily Bugle, and what's the chief for the...
Fuck.
Perry White.
Yes, yeah.
That's the only kind of parallel, and maybe the ripoff, but Marvel took this and fucking ran and never looked back. Because J. Jonah Jameson, Jolly Jameson, is now a staple in not only the MCU, but like Marvel Universe. Like people like love him because of Spider-Man, or like hate him because of Spider-Man.
Because
like,
at the same
he's so attached to this world,
and he's hilarious.
Yes, he is.
Like it's always fun to see how he's gonna twist this version of the picture or this version of the story. Oh, he saves his kids. Oh yeah, but he put them in danger, right? It's like,
like how do you twist? Like this man is bent over backwards trying to save New York from everything, and literally they've thrown everything in the kitchen sink at him, and you can still like sit there in your fucking editor-in-chief's desk and be like, nah, he's a menace. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Reprint it. No retraction, no apologies. And that's the great thing about like Spider-Man. He can't come forward and be like, yo, print this retraction. Like he can never be a man to like show up and be like, yo, you fucking over my name, right? He's constantly has to like battle with this man, and he's just a man. Like it's not like you can punch him and like take him to prison.
You can't fight him, and he doesn't do anything doesn't do anything. But you can't get him anything illegally.
It's freedom of the press and freedom of speech to like such an nth degree that it's like turned it to such an amazing dichotomy between the two.
Which is kind of cool. Like I know
I wouldn't be surprised that like in a comic book arc down the road that J. Jonah Jameson is the godfather of like Spider-Man's kids or something like that, right? Like
what's really cool. Well, we haven't talked about the video games much, but in the most recent one, the for the PlayStation 4,
right?
J. Jonah Jameson isn't like it's kind of a different universe,
right?
And he's not doing the Daily Bugle stuff. What he's doing is he's podcasting. Okay. So as you're swinging around, like the podcast will come on live, nice. And it's Bryan Cranston doing the voice, and he actually makes a great JJ, and he's just going off on you. It's hilarious. You mentioned you wouldn't be surprised if he becomes the godfather of his kid. Right.
Actually,
so in the most recent Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man #6, written by Chip Zdarsky. I was surprised. I just found this out because I actually don't read this, but I found this out during research and things. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. And I wasn't sure how I felt about this either, but they kind of put their differences aside.
Okay.
For the first time ever.
Right.
Peter's looking for his apparently long-lost sister, who was like an ex-SHIELD agent.
Sure.
So it leads him to Jonah to talk. They have a sit down. They try to figure out things going like that. And they kind of hash out why in this universe anyways, this book, why Jameson hates him so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's he kind of dishes out like he vents. My wife died because you were fighting somebody else. Like you were fighting Alistair Smythe and she died.
Because you went around the
There was a Clone Saga, she comes back,
right.
She dies again. So he blames him for both of those.
Damn.
And he's like, I'm so fucking alone. His wife's last dying wish, let the Spider-Man thing go.
Oh.
And he's like, I can't do that.
in perfect J. Jonah Jameson character, like I can't
do that.
I'm so obsessed with.
And this is where it kind of get weird. Spider-Man unmasks himself to him.
Okay.
And he goes, "You're not alone. Like I understand you're feeling."
Sure.
And they become homies. And I'm like, I don't know
if that's the way you would have ended it.
Yeah, because what happened was that when we were researching Moreland, because I remember the original arc he had. Mm-hmm. There's another arc in this book. And during that fight with Moreland, which is awesome, he calls Jameson for help, and Jameson like brings him a new suit. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" So I started deep diving, and I figured out what that happened. I was like, "I don't know how I feel about this." It's almost like it makes sense, and it's very touching. And I bet that issue is amazing.
I don't know if it makes sense. It's very touching.
It makes sense. It's not an Amazing Spider-Man arc, right? So
it's definitely a page turner. I can see why they're like, oh, the shock value of.
But I'm like, I already miss them being at odds.
Yeah.
Because they've been at odds for so long. Yeah, and it's like, well, now it's like it's just.
And you talk about Bryan Cranston casting, but I think maybe the best decision Sony has ever done is casting J.K. Simmons as
great.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Well, Bryan Cranston's a good voice for him, but
the man Simmons with the voice, the sound, the laugh,
it's him.
Parker.
It's fucking
Parker.
him. It's fucking him,
Parker.
Right?
Get in here. Amazing. So again, Hall of Fame. He kind of cheats into the system because he's not really a villain. But
he does, but we both love him.
He's definitely an honorable mention. He's a fucking. I'll give you 15 minutes about.
Yeah, you're not gonna hear us argue about
Jigsaw Jameson.
You're not. Yeah, you're not gonna hear us argue about if any of these guys belong in the Hall of Fame. They all do.
No, it's really the ranking.
Yeah.
So while you were going through your very nice run, I was deciding who I would go to next.
And what'd you get?
I'm gonna go with my dude, who I believe is Spider-Man's true rival.
Yep.
Just because I don't want to have another argument here, because we've already been arguing up to the top. But again, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame
It's
list.
discussions. 100%.
Again, you're literally the only people that can break the tire are soft cheeses and our new meats. So let us know.
You choose which one you are.
Of these three, how do you rank these three as Spider-Man's greatest rival?
Yeah.
Yeah? His top nemesis.
Yeah.
Nemesis.
They're doozies.
Nemenosos.
Ooh, that's a good one. Nemesis. Is it Nemesis? I think it's Nemesis.
I don't know.
Nemesis is this?
It's been a long episode.
It's been a long, yeah.
Count down.
Don't count it down.
Yeah, because this guy's amazing.
These guys are.
And this is the true.
And he is.
Nemesis. He's number one. But I'm telling him now.
You're pulling my.
Anyway, yeah, I'm cheating the system.
Yeah.
We're talking about Dr. Octopus. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know what was that.
I wanted to say his name, but I was like, Dr. Octopus is the villain name. Real name, Otto Gunther Octavius. Didn't know he's a Gunther.
Yeah.
AKA,
I love the middle names. I find this so fun.
AKA Otto Octavius, AKA Doc Ock, AKA Dr. Octavius, AKA Spider-Man, AKA Superior Spider-Man, AKA The Master Planner. It was on a new line. Sorry, guys. AKA The Master Programmer, AKA Peter Parker, AKA Superior Octopus. And let's just talk about the villains that he's fought. Like, not only is he not only is a Spider-Man villain, but he's a villain to the Beyonder in Secret Wars.
Fuck that. That's insane.
A villain to the Avengers, a villain to the Fantastic Four. So he's not just fucking over Spider-Man's life, he's been fucking over a lot of people's lives.
I'm not sure this guy gets the respect he deserves.
He does not. And he's a doctor. Legit. Fuck you, Connors.
Smart as fuck.
And I think from Germany? I don't know. I'm just going to say that.
I don't know what his background is.
I don't.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
No, but I think in this case, being part of the being part of the Sinister Six actually hurts his rep.
Hey guys, if you haven't listened to our
bottle
cap episode, we do Spider-Man the animated series, Insidious 6. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. But I think it hurts him because the other guys are mostly morons.
Yes. Oh no, they're all morons.
He's
except
tiers
for him.
above where they should be. So that kind of brings him down in some people's eyes.
Well, they've always made him a low-level thug when
he doesn't deserve
so
to
much
be.
smarter.
He's a mastermind.
He's a genius, and he has an emotional connection to Peter because he's
idol.
Yes, a student teacher, the student mentor.
Yeah,
they've had
pupil.
that. I think he's banged Aunt May. I'm just gonna put that out there. If he hasn't,
Yeah.
there's been an item thing.
Yeah.
He's been Spider-Man,
not only that,
literally, but inside of him, they sucked each other.
There's a lot of sucking going on in this episode.
I tried to stay away from going back to suck, but suck. But again, he's ingrained. He knows what it's like to be Peter Parker, and you can't say that. Oh, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. Yeah.
But he's definitely earned his slot in the top.
He's got to be on top lists more. I can't say I've looked at lists lately, but it's if he's got to be it. And he has to be in the top list.
And one of the most amazing. So when I got into Spider-Man comics, one of my first comics I read was him versus Doc Ock.
Did you read Spectacular Spider-Man 79?
Oh, so I didn't.
I put it on here.
List. Yeah,
I put it on here. Oh, you just okay? Because that one has a fucking awesome fight with them. It goes on for pages. He goes. I'll just get to it real quick. Sure. He basically he's stealing something, and Spider-Man and Black Cat get the jump on him. And he fucks up Black Cat.
Yeah, as he would.
He goes back to the hospital to finish the job. Right? I'm like, this is a gangster Doc Ock. Spider-Man's there. They have a fight. And this fight goes from the hospital down to the street, into intersections, into a train yard. And it just goes on. And it's a really good fight. It's fun. Yeah. It's such a fun. You were talking about earlier the Sandman pages are fun.
Yeah, these ones are fun.
These are fun as
hell.
Because
every page I've ever seen, again, one of the first ones is just to see those metal arms coming in, and Spider-Man has to be on his game. Because if he one misstep, it's a punch to the face, and it's adamantium, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and briefly talking about the origin, this is just a scientist who was trying to. I want to put it up there. It's a very strong metal.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. I like putting everything in adamantium.
Yeah,
as soon as they made
really
everything indestructible.
Anyways.
Just a man trying to complete a science project, essentially, and he created this tool to help him, and just got bonded to something that shouldn't he got bonded to, right? Like he got arms on him and became one with
and helped him descend into
darkness and
and
insanity and even which
is a cool story,
a deeper level of intellect because he just used these arms to make more crazy things happen.
Yeah.
So let's go into the power set. He's got the claws, obviously. He's got the agility. He's got the stamina, super speed, super strength.
Smart as shit.
He's a type of web slinger. He can climb walls, wind bursts. He's psychic. He's got telepathy, crazy intellect. He's got the danger sense. He's got the radar sense. He's got leadership, size manipulation, siphon life force, shape shifting, gadgets, implants, power suits, power item, unarmed combat. Like I remember when I was putting this, I was like, how is he a shapeshifter? But again, I wasn't questioning anything. He's got an amazing collection of trench coats,
brown ones,
and glasses.
Yeah.
But again,
terrible haircut.
And yet,
terrible haircut.
Perfect.
But it
haircut.
works. Yeah, but it
Absolutely
works.
perfect because I couldn't see him any other way. He's a man obsessed with his life's work, and then his life's work became Spider-Man and the destruction of Spider-Man. And that's not even like typically half of his comic book arcs are like I'm doing my shit, and then Spider-Man comes, and I gotta fuck up Spider-Man.
I was
right?
just like he hates Spider-Man, but it's like I got my own shit to do too.
He's always focused on his work. Like that's the science mind of him. Is like I'm still working on shit that matters, and Spider-Man's like, I matter. I matter.
Fucking go away. Like
Spider-Man essentially is always taking him away from like focusing on something else, and turning him more into a villain. And then you have amazing arcs like Superior Spider-Man.
Okay, I want to talk about this too.
You have to talk about
Superior Spider-Man. I was right into Amazing Spider-Man at the time this happened.
And you got me into Superior Spider-Man.
This was number 700, and when I saw it happening, I was like, I don't like this. This is dumb. Don't body swap them. This is... Right. It's a fucking great run. It's a great run because it's fun. It's a different side of Spider-Man. It's a better Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He does... He's more efficient against crime.
Yes.
And because of that,
and calculating and cold and concise.
Yeah.
He brings his scientific mind as like, no, I'm not thinking about Mary Jane or Aunt May. Although,
but because he's better with the crime element, he has more time for the personal elements now, right? So he's able to be in the lab more. He's able to be with.
He understands the balance.
Mary Jane more. He's like he gets it and he does it, and it's like, holy shit, he's doing this better than Peter.
Yeah. This is a man that in any type of surrounding has usually elevated himself to the leader. So he's been a leader of the Masters of Evil. He's been a leader of the Sinister Six. Obviously, he's been a better Spider-Man. I think he almost married Aunt May. It didn't happen. So he definitely gave her the business, which is awesome. I don't know if we can say that about anyone else on this list, but again, I'm in the wholehearted belief that Spider-Man and Doc Ock are the epitome
true
rival.
And that's a great argument.
And it's a great argument.
That's a great argument.
But he's only number 3 on our fucking Hall of Fame list.
Well, I didn't want to rank these guys 1, 2, but they're all Hall of Famers.
You know, it's kind of.
But we're moving on to the one
number 3B.
Yeah, you can do that. Whatever. I'm not even mad.
Number 7.
But it's huge fan favorite, obviously, and
because you're a fanboy.
I think I would say, my ultimate rival for Spider-Man would be Eddie Brock, Venom.
Right. So say Venom.
Venom, yeah, absolutely.
Because Venom is the actual villain. Eddie Brock is the host. Again, it's the whole Carnage thing.
Right. They don't bond as
smoothly and easily. Yeah. There's always pushback and resistance. Right? But then that led to more and better arcs with Eddie Brock and Venom. The fact that they were so conflicted on what they were trying to do and who was trying to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go into some AKA Alien costume, AKA Spider-Man's black costume, AKA Spider-Man, AKA Sinister Spider-Man, AKA Lethal Protector, AKA Mac Gargan, AKA Eddie Brock, AKA Angelo Fortunato.
Yeah, he had the suit for a little bit.
AKA Anne Wayne.
And Wayne, yeah, that's Brock's ex-wife. Yeah.
Oh, okay, ex-wife. There you go. AKA Patricia Robinson, AKA Norman Osborn.
Normie,
excuse me. Normie Osborn, aka May Parker, aka P. Parker, aka Cronstone.
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I. Aka Carol Danvers has had the mantle. Aka Flash Thompson.
Yeah, he was good.
Venom, and then Venom Symbiote. Okay, villains that this motherfucker has given a run for: Spider-Man, Red Hulk, Miss Marvel, Deadpool, and then Puma was in there because I think in Secret Wars Spider-Man originally fought Black Symbiote Spider-Man fought Puma.
Yeah.
I was like, that's funny. I gotta put that.
Yeah.
Because who talks about Puma ever?
No, nobody ever.
Other than the shoes.
Yeah.
This dude,
comfy shoes.
amazing shoes.
Yeah.
This dude's a beast.
He's a beast, and so you gotta be careful with Venom. Like, it's what was so cool about him. We talk about the emotional issue. It's Spider-Man like didn't know he existed. When I'm talking about he, I mean Eddie Brock, and he slowly everything goes wrong, and he's slowly and surely hating on Spider-Man, Then he gets this weird suit in Secret Wars,
right?
That I don't even think the writers knew what they were doing with it at the time. It was just kind of like, okay, let's give him a cool.
It was like a gift from the Beyonder.
It was toys.
It was a puddle.
Yeah, it was a puddle. It was like in a machine. He goes. It's really funny in the books. It's like a 1-page thing. Yeah, like here's a machine. Oh, here's a black thing. Oh, here's my suit.
I'm Black Spider-Man.
Wow, cool.
Moving on.
And the suit looks amazing.
Yeah.
The design is so simple.
One of the best Spider-Man suits ever.
And it's so simple, but it looks wicked.
Yeah. Everything's better in black.
Leave it up to Todd McFarlane.
Black.
Leave it to Todd McFarlane to help design the look.
Yeah.
And if you see Spawn now, you can see the similarities. Oh, he's grabbing a book. Yeah, you see the similarities right there, right? Big dude with big teeth and
a big ass.
Those crazy, those crazy eyes, right? Yeah.
Just so 90s, like veins popping out, a good mix of black and like dark blues to pull it out,
yeah.
And then the striking white, right? And then they changed the design, so he had a different spider on his back.
Yeah.
He had the web. He didn't need web shooters. It came from the
tops of his hands.
Yeah,
the back of his hand, rather.
Of his wrists.
Yeah.
No, not wrist. Hand. That's gotta have a professional name.
But it's just like the history of it, because you can't have. This is where the fucking movie went wrong. You can't have Venom without Spider-Man, and that's why I believe it's the ultimate rival, because they...
Well, going back to emotional, there's definitely emotional ties. Because Venom leaves Spider-Man, or leaves Peter Parker...
He's rejected. He's like, how the symbiote suit is rejected. He goes, how the fuck dare he, really?
But with all this information and all this know-how of like, oh, so this is what this guy can do. Now I can do it.
Yeah.
Let me find someone else that we can do it.
Amazing idea.
And I love...
Amazing idea.
I love the fact that Venom is so much of a we. We are Venom.
I love when they do that.
Like, that
that's so
whole...
cool, yeah.
kind of mindset of like he understands he's just a parasite to a host.
Yeah.
But once he finds that host, we are one. We are Venom.
But Eddie Brock hates Peter Parker and he hates Spider-Man because of all the
Peter
wrong,
Parker, yeah,
all the indirect. The symbiote hates Spider-Man because he rejected him. How fucking dare he? We were such a good bond. Like, they were such a powerful bond. They bond together, and it's like they share like the symbiote shares everything it knows about
secrets,
Peter.
Yeah. And Eddie in return shares all his hate and his distaste for Peter Parker.
And they become this perfect Spider-Man killing machine, right? And he can do everything Spider-Man can do.
It's the Avatar movie we want. So what's his face? Start listening. Well, James, what's his name?
Cameron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make Avatar with Venom. Or Venom with Avatar.
Because he can do everything Spider-Man can do, but better. And he knows everything Peter knows. He knows all their weaknesses. I remember
I would argue, but better. He can do everything Spider-Man can do.
He's not a smart Spider-Man. That's the one thing.
To a higher extent, like times 10.
Okay, there you go. Okay, fair enough.
Turned to 11.
Turned it up, yeah. And even in the 90s cartoon, when he's just torturing him.
Oh yeah, he's dangling him.
He's just showing up at Aunt May's house. Hey, I'm Peter's friend. And he's just showing up at MJ's thing. Oh, I'm Peter's friend.
It was emotional. It was psychological. It was physical. It was like gut wrenching because you knew like this is this is someone that Peter doesn't know what to expect with.
Yeah. And he doesn't trigger his spider sense. Like everybody else does. He doesn't.
He's on the radar. Well, he knows what his spider sense is.
Which is terrifying.
He found the frequency.
It's terrifying for Peter. He's like, what? I don't know when this guy's gonna, but he knows everything about me. He knows where I stay, so he'll just walk by the house at night. What's up, man? You come chase me, I'll kill your aunt.
Anytime, yeah.
It's like
secrets are real. So we're going to the power set. Claws, adaptive. He's feral. Berserker strength. He's got a chameleon. Agility, healing, stamina, invulnerability, invisibility, stealth, super speed, super strength, super eating, possession, power mimicry, web slinging, wall climbing, tracking, telepathy, intellect, danger sense, radar sense, longevity, empathy, which may have been his downfall.
Yeah.
Size manipulation.
Well, Pussy got him killed.
Pussy gets everyone killed. Siphon life force. Siphon abilities. Shapeshifting. Chemical absorption. genetic manipulation, elasticity, enhanced mutation, matter absorption. He's got a power suit, obviously Submariner, unarmed combat, and weapons master. So I
big
get
list.
day one for Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
If it's Eddie Brock that you love. Day
Plus-
one for Matt Gargan. Day
plus-
one for Miss Marvel who had it. Day one for Red Hulk. Like everyone that picks up this guy is like, God damn.
Plus tunnel.
Flash Thompson.
Plus
Sorry.
tunnel vision for I hate Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And that's why you gotta be careful with this guy, because you can't use him sparingly. And I think that's actually a bit of a detriment to it. Like, you were talking about Ock and how, he does his own thing.
right.
And then he does. Venom doesn't do his own thing. Well, at least in the original, like in the early runs, he didn't do his own thing. His own thing was to kill Spider-Man.
Right.
To torment Spider-Man. That was his own thing.
Well, that's such a weird thing because when they separated him from Spider-Man and gave him his own title run, I feel like he was at his highest popularity.
Yeah.
But they removed something from him that was necessary.
Yeah.
Because without that, then what was he doing?
Well, now
he
he's just
was
a big Spider-Man that's not quite as nice as Spider-Man.
No, he's just running around biting people's heads off kind of thing.
And it's fun. It's fun if you really like Venom, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Your rogues gallery is who you're after and who's after you.
And that's why I wanted to highlight Amazing Spider-Man 374. Okay, so I know 300 was Venom's original appearance,
right,
and all that, and it's cool stuff. But I want to do something a little different. 374, he's actually locked up, and he breaks out. And this is around the time that Peter's parents are back in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what he does? Attacks Peter's parents, right? It's like he doesn't even take a day off. It's like I won't. And then MJ's like, she calls Spider-Man, he comes, and they have a big fight that just spans. Like it starts in the street, goes into a mall. Venom ends up kidnapping his parents, takes him to a carnival. This is where Spider-Man gets. This is kind of where it gets a little different though. Spidey goes to his ex-wife Anne Wayne. And it's like, you need to tell me about Eddie and how, like, what's some weaknesses and shit like that. And she kind of talks to him, like, she kind of gives him some pointers. But the whole point of this scene is that she follows Spider-Man to the carnival, and she actually ends up helping out in the grand scheme of things. Because they get attacked by the Wild Pack.
Okay.
Right? And as soon as they're done with the Wild Pack, Venom's, like, ready to kill Spider-Man again. It's like, yeah, well, you know what? If you weren't here, they wouldn't be here. And it's like, and Anne's like, will you fucking chill?
I was like, no.
Like, you need to chill.
No.
He just helped you. He's like, nah.
No.
She ends up getting through to him, and this is kind of where their separation starts a little bit. But it's more like you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone.
Well,
and it's kind of like, well, that's...
To his detriment, they made him an anti-hero, and I was like, I get it.
Lethal protection and all that shit.
Yeah, I get it, but nah.
And I think that's part of the reason why they started to create Venom or Carnage, right? Because now
they needed someone else.
We
to
want
offset,
another symbiote again, but not one that's obsessed with Spider-Man. It's like, okay, well, that was Venom's charm.
And in turn, all three of them are obsessed with each other because they all end up wearing each other's suits, and then it turns into anti-Venom and like white
messy.
suits.
The symbiote thing gets out of hand.
Too convoluted, but here's where it was at their best.
And it's just based, like we said before, it's a bigger, darker Spider-Man that's just. Like you said, I was gonna say does everything better, but does everything times 10. And
he's turned to 11.
How do you compete with somebody who can beat you at everything?
Well, you find that bell.
Yeah,
bringing that bell.
Yeah, the church bell.
That's how it does it. And that's it. That's all of our Hall of Fames. We've covered everyone that we need to cover. Spider-Man has fought everyone that he needs to fight.
That's it. I said my piece.
I said my piece. There's no one else. Not one person. Except.
The Green Goblin!
And of course we're talking about Harry Osborn.
Oh,
who didn't even get an honorable mention.
No, fuck Harry.
We're talking Norman.
So, like Dank was saying earlier, I was gonna say, Dank was saying earlier, Ock is kind of his choice for the main rival, and that's a fucking great argument. I have trouble arguing that. I said Venom's, my choice.
And you heard his argument. He has a great argument for that. It's hard to argue that as well.
But we both agree
that probably the greatest rival for
Spider-Man.
It's got to
be Norman Osborn.
For what he's done to his personal, professional, and psyche, he's just damaged him in every fucking level. And in a fucking green mask. In a green mask. Fucking in a little green mask.
Go on with your power sets. No, not got it.
Go on with your little list over there, Dank. Read your little list over there.
I didn't mean it like
Someone's
that,
feeling a little Eddie Brock over there, huh?
Go on with your list.
So, real name, Norman Virgil Osborn.
Again, I didn't know.
I did not know that. AKA Green Goblin, AKA Iron Patriot, which I fucking love that run.
Yep.
AKA Screer?
Yeah, Scryer.
Scryer, aka Super Adaptoid, aka Goblin King, aka Mason Banks, aka Grunner, Kobold, aka Cletus Cassidy, aka Red Goblin. So again, a lot of people.
That's very.
AKA Harry Osborn, because a lot of people have taken up the mantle for Green Goblin.
Yep.
But specifically, we're talking about Norman, and like the rest of our villains that we were talking about in the Hall of Fame, Spider-Man isn't the only one that's been a problem. Or
an adversary.
Goblin hasn't always been a problem for just Spider-Man. He's also done it for the Avengers and Fantastic Four, and that alone is worth your weight in gold. We'll talk powers before.
You can torment teams.
And he's done it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Like the Iron Patriot. If we could just talk arc about just fucking Hammer. We could just talk about
the reach that Norman has got.
The Dark Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, is amazing. Like Norman is amazing. Like whoever wrote and like put their lifeblood into is amazing. So, but for the Green Goblin specifically, his power set is flight. He's agility. He's adaptive, healing, stamina, stealth, tracking. He's got super strength. He's intellectual. He's got leadership. He's insanely rich, which definitely helps when you're battling anybody to have money. Power suit, blast power, gadgets. He's great in unarmed combat. He's a great marksman, and he's got a weapons master degree. This dude is crazy,
and he's
cunning, powerful, charismatic, dangerous, unassuming. He's kind of a Joker too.
Yeah.
Like he's the saner version of Joker. Like if Joker ever wanted to run for politics, he would be a Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
But where do you go?
You could almost say he's like a cross between. I might get crucified for this, but Joker and Lex Luthor. Like it's like a.
You're not gonna get a cross by me. Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
Not a combination, but somewhere in the middle of the two. Because he's got the smarts of Lex, but he's got that.
He's got the business savvy of Lex.
Yes, there you go. Business savvy. Yes.
He's got the money of Tony Stark's.
Yep.
He's got the. And Joker's charismatic, right? Like that's what I wanted to listen to, and wrap that in that he's got the obsession of Venom and Dr. Octopus for different reasons, and has both of them in his pocket. Like he can assemble those guys to be like, hey, deal with them for 2 rounds, and then I'll come in. I'll come in to wipe up.
And he will clean. Like he's strong as fuck too. So I mean, physically he can match because he's all gassed up with the Goblin gas.
Right.
He'll throw down with Spider-Man. He's like toe to toe. Let's throw down. He's not as agile. He can't web sling.
And in different iterations, they've transformed him. Like he's turned into an actual Green Goblin.
Yeah, well,
later in Ultimates.
In the Ultimate verse,
they keep finding ways to reinvent Norman's insanity, and still he's so grounded. We're not supposed to be talking about movies, but he's the one guy. He's my next up for villains I want to see.
Yep.
We need a Norman Osborn in either the Sony world or the MCU world, or if you want to just do a fucking TV show talking about Oscorp, I'll watch the shit out of that.
Yeah.
This dude is so fucking compelling on so many different reasons.
Now, I bring up a lot of comic arts with these guys. You cannot talk about Green Goblin and Norman Osborn. I don't know, my voice cracked.
Right.
And you can't not talk about him and not bring up Amazing Spider-Man 121, 122. And that would be the death of Gwen Stacy.
Yes. The probably the most famous arc.
Yeah, this is it's not a big deal now, but you got to remember this is back before we were around.
Yeah, this is 60s, maybe 70s.
I think so. 121. Yeah, I'll have to look that up, but I think it's 70s, late 60s. But regardless,
right, that era.
You go back, and you got to understand that this has never happened to a superhero before.
Right.
They lost their love interest.
Mm-hmm.
She's dead.
They killed their love interest. Not even lost.
They killed her love. I know there's a behind the scenes thing that they introduced Mary Jane and people started to gravitate towards her because she was a bit more different.
But before Mary Jane,
it was Gwen Stacy, right? And that's kind of why they did it, because they had a backup plan.
Right.
But still, Clark Kent never lost love. Back then,
and this is Spider-Man's first love.
Yeah.
And
the OG,
so well paired for
door,
and so well paired for she was as smart. They would were going to school together. They were both going to be amazing scientists.
Yeah.
Like they made that emotional connection. It wasn't like a contrast like Mary Jane, which is
this issue
complete out of league.
This is 100+ issues, right?
Yeah.
Like she's been around for
Issue-
that long,
issue
fucking
2.
years,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna drop, 12 issues a year. It's 121, so it's like storied.
I wish you let me make my Harry Osborn argument before you went to Gwen Stacy, because it's hard to go from your best girl to like your best friend. But
but Norman Osborn kills Gwen Stacy, like not by accident. He goes out, kidnaps her, kills her,
and laughs
and laughs about it,
and moves on like another day.
Yeah, I mean Spider-Man gets revenge, but
does he really? Like his revenge changes who he is.
Yes,
and he's never really the same.
No.
Until they reboot, and you know how comics work.
And
but
he dies and comes back. And
he's never really the same version of the boyhood Spider-Man that you want him to be, where he's carefree, cracking quips. Like this is the first time where you got to see that there were real stakes.
Actually, what's interesting about that? Actually, because you brought that at the end of that arc, it's exactly what happens. Like MJ's like, oh, Peter. She starts talking. Oh, I feel so bad. He goes. He's just like, shut it.
Yeah.
You don't feel anything.
You don't know
like,
what I'm feeling.
And he's like, get the fuck out.
those words exactly, verbatim in the
verbatim.
Comic, he says, get the fuck out, Mary Jane.
She
either suck it or go.
She.
I needed one more in there.
Yeah, you need to. She actually closes the door and stays, and that's foreshadowing what's to come.
Right.
But it was like he was just wilding out. He was just like lashing out at people, and I was like, wow, this is not the fun-loving Peter anymore, right? This changed, and rightfully so. You killed the woman I love, all that jazz, right? And that's never that hadn't happened up to that point, and it was a huge impact. Yeah, for a single superhero story, right?
And if that wasn't enough, his best friend's father is the same serial killer that's doing all this stuff. So your relationship with your best friend changes.
It gets deeper. Your
best friend becomes the fucking villain that you're fighting. Like they keep adding layers to the Norman Peter relationship, because there's even a father-son relationship when Norman realizes how smart Peter is compared to his son.
Yeah.
And then there's that dynamic too. Like they've added as many type of layers to their relationship that you could, and then they threw death on top of it. Of like, oh yo, you killed my girl.
Yeah.
Like they were adversaries, they were like friends, they were partners, they were father-son.
You'll like this too. In that arc, the reason why
boss and son.
Because Norman's been suppressing the Green Goblin persona for a while in this arc, going back to it. And the reason why it comes back out is because his son gets high on LSD.
Nice.
And is like in a hospital.
And that's
he loses it. He's like, this is your... I can't.
But that's the thing about Norman. It doesn't take much to make him snap, but once he snaps, that's it.
Yeah.
And as a reader, you can't wait for that snap. You never know what it's going to be. And it's always great. And it's... For us, it's terrible for Spider-Man. Because how do you plan for someone that is so ingrained in New York and so, like, affluent and recognized and celebrated, but, like, you have to, like... And you're still trying to be the best Spider-Man, so you don't want to discredit this man for your best friend or for, like, the shareholders or for whoever who thinks that Norman is still... But you have to let people... Like, you have to stop this madman. Like, how do you...
He's got so much weight behind him.
Yeah. If this was Dr. Ock, he'd be like, I'm putting a bullet in his brain.
Yeah.
If this was Venom's like, I'm eating him.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's like, what the fuck do I have to do next?
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do I prepare for this? And again, this is what makes Spider-Man such a compelling hero. All the men that we've listed. Oh, we should have more women on this list.
Yeah, we don't. Oh, Lady Stillman.
Silver Sable?
Silver Sable, Lady Stillman.
Or,
He doesn't, I was going to say. Oh, no, you can't say Madam Web.
Well, nobody cares. Six.
This segment is called Heroes from Hat.
6. Oh wait, no. What time is it?
It's not 6:00.
Oh, my bad.
It's Hero Draft o'clock.
Yeah, pew pew pew.
Pew 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 pew.
Pew.
This is called Heroes from Hat, where we take two heroes from this hat.
This hat right here.
And put them against each other in... Well, this is round 3, so it'll be a sport. It'll be a one-on-one competition.
Of combat.
Of combat in a sport. We're down to 8 names.
It's getting thick.
It's round 3. It's getting thin. Is it getting thin?
And
the
thick.
ranks are getting thin, but the stakes are getting thick.
Sure.
There you go. Sure. These two are going to be playing tennis.
So you chose that.
Playing tennis.
So they're not playing doubles?
No. Singles tennis.
This is not mixed doubles?
All right, take yours.
This is... Not
Alright,
not looking. Picked it. Now I'm looking.
Doctor Strange.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider versus Doctor Strange in singles tennis.
Is this in Wimbledon? Because they both have to wear white.
Okay.
Which circuit? Is this U.S. Open? Aussie Open? French Open?
It's
which is clay?
It's exhibition. We're just doing it.
Okay, I want it to be
Mario Tennis type shit.
Sure, but you still get to choose courts. So I'm choosing French Open because it's clay.
Okay.
And fire works better with clay. And I don't think Doctor Strange can handle returning a flaming serve.
Just wave my hand.
Flaming ace.
Wave my hand, make some portals.
So that's not tennis.
Make some portals.
That's
the
doing
tennis
magic.
ball will go
That's
through.
making.
So no magic allowed.
Are we saying that? This is a sports game.
Fair enough.
There's a man in a chair. We didn't say who the referee is, but
and it's singles, so my cape can't play.
No, it cannot. And I don't think you have the right dexterity.
But your motorcycle can't be there.
It can be there. I'm just not riding it.
Yeah, you're not riding it. Yeah.
I'm not bogged down with. And I took my jacket off, so.
So how fast? How good are your reflexes?
Very.
'Cause I imagine mine are very good too.
No. You're old.
Yeah, but then
Unless you're using the eye of Margamatu.
Eye of Agamotto.
That's what I said. Of Morimoto.
I can't use shit.
Exactly. So you can't reverse time. How are you gonna have reflexes?
Yeah, because I train.
You're just gonna be floating and thinking of all the possibilities where you win, and it's only one. And Iron Man's not here to take the bullet for you, so you lost. Again, I have a fire serve and a fire return.
You're from hell, yeah.
And a fire return, and that's literal as well as figurative.
That's like a super smash. That's like the Mario Tennis thing.
Yeah, man. Fucking Ghost Rider wields a chain. I'm pretty sure he can handle working a fucking tennis racket.
You gonna light that ass on fire?
If that's what you're looking for. But Doctor Strange doesn't even use a weapon, so I'm expecting him not to have the hand-eye coordination.
My cape can carry. My cape can carry the tennis racket.
You said your cape can't be in it because it's singles. Had you made it doubles, then I could use my bike.
I could use my cape.
But now you can't.
But my cape's on.
But you can't use it. So that's
even worse.
That's hindering you.
It's even worse. I'd rather be in tight leather than have a cape on.
First of all, I took off my coat.
You still got leather pants.
Yeah, I know how to work them.
Johnny Blaze.
I've been on a motorcycle.
Johnny Blaze.
Plus I know how to bend. Plus my fire serves, I don't really have to move around much. You can't return shit.
You serve fire.
Thank you. And your eye of Margamoto is on the sidelines.
Alright, so that Ghost Rider's going on to the semifinals.
Yeah, I won in straight sets too.
Deuce.
You're old.
Game, set, and match.
Like, how old is Doctor Strange in the world that he lives?
Doesn't matter.
He's in his 50s.
Yeah.
That's not you're.
He's not playing tennis with the young guns.
No, he's not.
How old's Johnny Blaze?
Less than 50.
Well, he doesn't age anymore, right? He's dead, so there you go.
Are you catching up to the fact that
fair enough?
Advantage, Ghost Rider. Serve.